Russell, Elliot, Catalina, Principal Capelli is waiting for you in her office. Please hurry back.
What did we do?
I don't know. Beats me. You go out there.
You know Mr. Dallas, and this is Mr. Demir. His daughter, Bethany Demir, as I believe you know, is your classmate. Mr. Demir is an attorney.
Yeah.
Yes, a lawyer. Would you care to tell why you think Mr. Demir might be here? All right, perhaps Mr. Demir will explain. Mr. Demir?
2 days ago, did you email this anecdote about my daughter to the entire student body? What is the source of this anecdote?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Well, no. It was anonymous.
How did you get it?
Someone left it at Catalina's locker.
Who wrote it?
No, I told you. It was on a computer disk taped to her locker door.
Do you know who wrote it?
No, it was anonymous.
Do you know that it's false? Do you know that it's a piece of libelous fiction?
Well, one of her friends wrote it. She didn't want to use her name because then she'd be out of the group.
How do you know that?
Well, because they told us. She wrote it.
That's what she wrote? Anyone can write anything, couldn't they? That's a pretty wild story to say that there's some sort of a girls' mafia here at school. Did you do anything to find out whether or not it was true? Did you just assume that it was accurate? So without checking anything, you broadcast to the entire school a story that accuses my daughter, an honor roll student since the 4th grade, of systematic cheating. Do you have any idea how serious an allegation that is? In fact, if this were true, she could be suspended or worse. This would go on her permanent transcript. Do you know how seriously something like that could affect her life?
Well, how do you know it's not true?
I'll tell you how. First, I've questioned every one of her close friends. Every single one of them knows nothing of this. Second, I've questioned my daughter, whom I trust. Third, my daughter does her homework at the kitchen table. Either my wife or I have watched our daughter work on every single one of her essays for social studies this year. We look at her work every night, and we looked at this essay the night our daughter wrote it, in her own handwriting. So every single person who might know anything about this story you shared with the whole school has said, and will testify if necessary, that it's false. It's fiction and it has no basis whatsoever.
Didn't it occur to you three that if you were given an anonymous story, someone might have made it up? Don't you think you might have looked into it, that possibility, before you broadcast it?
We're just kids, Mrs. Capelli.
Yes. You are just children, with unchecked access to a media that is just too powerful for children. Mr. Demir, I cannot tell you how sorry we are that this terrible, unfortunate mistake has been made. We acknowledge and very much regret the pain it has caused your family. I want to thank you personally for bringing this very, very unfortunate matter to my attention. I can assure you, speaking personally and as the principal of this school, that I will see to it nothing like this ever happen again.
That doesn't undo the damage, Mrs. Capelli. My daughter is just devastated. She doesn't know if she can come back to the school anymore. She doesn't know if she can.
I hope she will. I very much hope she will come back to us. We will do everything we possibly can to make the truth known to everyone here. And nothing like this will ever occur again.
We'll see how the situation unfolds.
All of the foolish, dumb, reckless, idiotic things you could possibly have done? Do you have any idea the kind of trouble you've exposed us to?
I guess not really.
Lawyers don't just come into people's offices and talk like that. First they talk like that, then they sue people and schools for lots of money.
Is that why this is so bad?
Mr. Geekworks, I beg your pardon?
No, I mean, we're sorry for what happened. We're really sorry. But, like, does this mean when kids get beat up or dropped off bridges or people make up stories about them, the reason you don't do anything is because their dads aren't lawyers?
This is not some kind of joke, Mr. Geekworks.
I totally agree with you.
I take my responsibilities to the school very seriously. And you have created a very, very serious situation.
We're sorry.
It is now my responsibility to do everything I can in a very public and visible manner to make sure that this can never happen again. Just as I said, I am revoking student access to the school stream network.
Which students? These?
All students.
What? Janet, no! That would be a terrible mistake. You've got no idea how much the students use the land, how much they get out of it.
The potential for abuse has been made very plain, Mr. Dallas. I have the responsibility to take decisive action. You just heard me promise I would.
Janet, the technology committee decided on these levels of access.
With a great deal of pressure from its chairman.
Yes, because it's right. Because it's a tool for learning. It has limitless potential. Limitless. It's not that there won't be any mistakes. Of course there will be mistakes. How many books have been published that shouldn't have been? How many unfortunate phone calls get made every day? The point is, network communication is the new world. Trusting kids to explore and make sense of it is trusting them to learn its lessons.
Go.
This is what's really going on here. 3 kids making innovative use of the network. Really innovative. They start doing some really good too. They make one mistake, one serious mistake, but still just one. They have a chance to learn from it. Everyone has a chance to. They can use the network to make it right. For gosh sakes, if you take the network away for the whole student body because of this, I don't know what that says. I guess it tells people you shouldn't try something new. Stick your neck out or try to make a difference because your boss might get a lawyer in her office.
It is my responsibility to protect this institution from the kind of exposure. In view of what happened, I am overruling the decision of the Technology Committee. Student access to School Stream is to be confined to retrieving information from the library and so forth. There will be no more electronic mail, no more bulletins, effective immediately.
We can't do this immediately. The kids will need time to take it in, to wind it down.
I don't see why, Mr. Dallas, but all right. We have 2 weeks.